Welcome to another edition of Timeless Sports. My name is Aaron Brady. Thanks for joining us in our Victory Place studio in Dallas. So there's 12 months of the year, but today we're going to debate out of the 12 months, which month is the most popular sports month or your favorite sports month of all 12 months. But before we do that, let's meet the Timeless Sports team. On my right, Parker Smith.
Hook 'em. Let's go, boys.
Ronnie Gallant.
What up, what up?
Kyle Stark.
So,
So this one's kind of interesting. We were talking about it before we started filming, and actually 3 of us have the same month of the year. Before we get into it, comment down below if you can guess out of the 4 of us which month you think 3 of us are going to go with. But 3 of us have one, and then there's a Lone Ranger on his own island with his own month. So, the 3 of us, it is myself, Kyle, and Ronnie. We all are in agreement that October is the best sports month of the year. Kyle, what's your input? Why do you think October is the best sports month in maybe a minute?
It's easy. It's everything. It's professional baseball. You get the playoffs. That's when they start caring. It's when they start acting like kids again. Running around, really competing. You've got college football, college basketball starting up. You've got NHL, NBA, everything that you could possibly want to watch. It's going to give you the most sports per day. Every day there's something happening.
that was my thing. When I was researching, I said, what month could possibly be in contention of this? And this was the only one that I thought really could be possible because literally, like you said, everything is happening.
Yeah.
Soccer, basketball, football, baseball, hockey just started. Anything. Watch it.
Oh, it's a lot of fun, and I think too, for whatever reason, weather kind of plays a role in my mind, and like October is a great time to go to baseball games. Like here in Texas, until we get our new stadium, and it's terrible going to baseball games in May, June, July, August, even September for that matter. So like if your team's in the hunt for October and like you're in the playoffs, like the Rangers were, what was that now, almost 10 years ago, it's really fun to go to baseball games, and also just going to sports in general to me is fun in October. Like you guys talked about, pretty much every sport's going on during that time of the year. Baseball, hockey, football, basketball, and professional football and college football are both going on during that time. And I think that's really when NFL and college football really start to pick up the momentum. You're kind of in the conference schedule for college football at that point, or you're kind of about to enter it. Your non-conference games are kind of done. Now you're just about to start going up against the teams that are going to determine your fate for the rest of the season. So I have October too, in agreement with you guys. There's just so much going on. Pretty much any night you can turn on the TV and there is something to watch that is of interest. So October definitely. And then we have Parker, who's completely on his own on this. So good.
So, I mean, there's plenty of things wrong with and flawed with their thinking right now.
Oh, really?
A few of the things that I feel like are negative to October are, I mean, what are you actually starting? Really, baseball is just down to 4 teams that you have that are actually still in the playoffs. Football, you do have football and college football. Those are the 2 that I think that you have. You get a lot more people, and I think that is a lot more popular as well. But still, it's the very beginning. And so it's not even close to a championship. There's no championships with that. And so I just don't think that October's that great.
But you have that fun of a brand new season starting for a team. You're wanting to see, okay, the first 10 games, like how do we get out of the gate? How much potential do we have for the year? And so there's that initial
but how much can you really know in the first 4 weeks of an NFL season? There's people who can start off. I mean, you look at the Colts. They started off 0-3, and then they become a playoff team. So you don't even really get to experience that much with that. I don't think that's it. But what my month is the best month in the calendar anyways, is the month of March. And so the reason I chose March is I think the iconic thing and the thing that everyone knows it about, it's March Madness. I mean, this is one of the best, I think the best sports tournament that we have throughout the calendar year. This is the one where you have those Cinderella stories. This is where you have even the people who don't even watch college basketball at all up until March Madness, and they do a tournament bracket. It's this nonstop for at least 2 weekends straight of college basketball, buzzer beaters. Everyone's living on this these nail-biting decisions where everything happens to the last tenth of a second. in multiple games. This happens every day. Think about that. How close? How many double overtimes, triple overtimes there were this past tournament?
Yeah.
It is just insane how clutch this is. How incredibly how much adrenaline this tournament gives you.
Yeah.
And so just having that alone, I think, puts it over the top. And the other thing I have in it is that you have people coming to the end of who's going to make the playoff race. Who's actually going to make the playoff in the NBA? Everything's getting a little more because they're getting to the last games of the schedule. So who's actually going to be in the hunt for the playoffs? Same thing. You have I'm going blank on the other sport that was starting there as well. Oh, hockey.
WNBA, you seem to like that.
No, WNBA starts differently. Hockey is another one that ends that also you have at least right up there into the playoffs because hockey playoffs start in April as well. And so I just think that this is the month that has the most dynamic, heart-stopping games in this month that is that just draws in the crowd that much more.
Yeah.
Parker, first of all, if you want March Madness, you want to watch it, if you want to watch the championship, actually happens in the month of April, so you can lose that. Professional baseball, actually almost all of playoffs is in October. Wild card usually starts last year it was October 3rd. Wild card started, and the World Series was the 25th to about the 31st. So the whole month is just built with playoff baseball, which is amazing.
But that's what is that? 5 teams? 5 teams from each side.
But that's the best teams
Yeah.
where every pitch matters, and that might hit home to some of the Ranger fans in here. Every pitch matters.
This is when they can't lose. During the regular season, they know they can lose 50 games and 60, 70 games and be okay.
Okay, but let's be honest though. Baseball is not one of the more popular sports. Even now.
It's pastime.
Okay, it's the pastime, yes. Okay, but the thing is, this is the one league that is struggling the most with attendance and people viewing it.
Not in the postseason.
What about the WNBA, Parker? MLS, Parker.
Which is why they are continually looking at changing the rules and having the game speed up.
Okay.
They're the ones who deal with that the most. The most popular league is the NBA.
Which is in
No,
October.
more than the NFL. No,
The
NBA
TV
is not more popular
ratings.
than the
Okay,
NFL.
so the reason why the NBA is more popular, and we've already discussed this in another debate, is that the NBA their TV ratings are skyrocketed, leaps and bounds. The NFL, they are great because they don't have as many games, but they are still plummeting in TV ratings. It doesn't help when you have the kind of Super Bowl game and championship game that we had this year. But NBA is a lot more popular. It draws a lot more people in because everything comes down to the last shot for most teams, and even in the playoffs you have multiple overtimes, and so but still you don't have any meaningful game. You don't have any meaningful games in October in a popular sport.
You're making the claim for it in October. So say you don't like the NBA, say it's not, or you do like the NBA, or you don't like the NFL, or you don't like hockey, or you don't like MLB. If you don't like MLB, well, NFL's on. If you don't like NFL, NHL's on. If you don't like NHL, then you can watch NBA.
Something for anybody.
And if you are just a sports fan, then every single calendar day, there's something for you to watch.
Okay, if we're going that way though, spring training baseball is technically starting in March as well. So is soccer.
Spring training's in February.
But either
It
way,
goes through March though. Do they only play for a month?
Either way, it's spring training. It's interesting, but it doesn't
Exactly.
count for anything.
It's not as interesting, and that's what I'm going for. What is the most interesting? It's doing an 81 team March Madness tournament or 84 team.
64.
84? 68. Let's clarify.
68, and then it becomes 64.
If we're going to make an argument, let's
That's
Yeah, we gotta get it right.
Okay, got the number, yes. But still, that big of a tournament, it just it draws that many people.
I will give you this about it. The fun thing about March Madness is it brings in non-sports fans. Like you hear of offices and all different girls, all different kinds of groups of people coming together, and even if they just pick winners based on their colors or their mascots, it does bring in a lot of people. But Parker, it's that one event up against 8 events.
those same people tailgate at football games around the country.
way!
Yeah,
No way!
they do.
No way! And college football, I'm guessing?
Yeah, college football games, high school football games. Think about it. I mean, high school football is a big
High
thing.
school football. Yeah.
No, it's a big thing. Yeah.
That's a stretch right there. But I'm just telling y'all, March is the best month. And you have the best tournament, and this is the one that draws most people in.
And I think for like a 1 or 2 week stretch, it's really popular. Then everybody's bracket gets busted. And I know for me personally, I may watch a little bit after that. But once my bracket's busted, it's like I'm moving on.
And
You
by that
know.
time they're in April. So.
All right. Well, we got 3 for October, 1 for March. Tell us below what month you think is the best sports month of the year and why. If you would, subscribe and click the like button as well. And we'll see you next time here on Timeless Sports. Join the debate.